Well, here's an interesting little tidbit. This actor, Lakeith Stanfield, is rumored as Silver Surfer, but wait! Julia Warner, from Ozark, was already announced as a female Silver Surfer. But she's not going to be a gender-swapped Silver Surfer. She's going to be Silver Surfer's wife, Shala Ball. Now, idiot people were running around saying, that's totally within canon of the comics. For a couple of panels in Earth X, some late 90s series, that was a proposed potential future for the Marvel Universe. So everybody was really old. Spider-Man was old and fat and stuff like that. And for a couple of panels, it was revealed that Shala Ball got the power cosmic as well. And with Norrin Red together, they were the Silver Surfers. Yeah, so the thinking would have been, so they'll just swap them out where she gets the power and he stays home waiting for her return or some crap, whatever. But now there's this little story about this guy. So, summary. A new rumor suggests there will be 2 Silver Surfers in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. Actor Lakeith Stanfield may be playing one of the Silver Surfers, possibly the male version. Well, I would think so. There is speculation that the Fantastic Four's origin story in the film may involve the multiverse and multiple versions of the Silver Surfer. Multiverse was the original game plan, and Kang was supposed to play a role in all that, but they can't do Kang anymore. What are you going to do? Well, you're not going to do that. I could have just recast him, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I guess they're just going to drop him as this time travel villain who would fit in with a multiverse shenanigans type storyline that leads to Secret Wars and all that. So the Fantastic Four, having been the superhero team that launched Marvel Comics, yeah, I know Captain America, Human Torch existed before that, but when it became Marvel Comics, that was in the early 60s with Fantastic Four. So anyway, a new rumor claims the second Silver Surfer will be featured, played by Lakeith Stanfield. It has already been announced that, Julia Garner, she'll be the one, and it makes reference to Earth X, that's what happened. This is not from Earth X. You get the idea. So anyway, according to Daniel RPK, Fantastic Four will introduce Norrin Red as the Silver Surfer alongside Shala Ball as the Silver Surfer. Regarding Lakeith Stanfield, when the trades announced Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer, he posted and then deleted on social media, thought it was to be me, but IG. So, he was in the running to play the role, but lost to Julia. So, anything, it seems as if Marvel was casting for a male version of the Silver Surfer, but somebody said, what if it was a woman? And every time you do that, you go, okay, we gotta cast a woman. Oh, boy. I'm surprised one of these guys isn't a woman, But anyway, so what's going on? Possible spoilers follow. Nobody cares anymore, so let's read them. It could very well be that the Fantastic Four movie will feature 2 versions of the Silver Surfer, but the better question is, will they be together? Will they be shown on the screen at the same time? Will they both be heralds of Galactus? Will they team up? Maybe. Another possibility. And spoilers follow. There's a rumor that the origin of the Fantastic Four is of the multiverse. It's said the Fantastic Four exist on another Earth where their Earth is destroyed by Galactus. Well, we all know the Silver Surfer precedes the Big G. That's right. He's the Herald. So it could very well be possible that the opening of the movie deals with the destruction of the Fantastic Four's alternate Earth, where a version of the Silver Surfer is featured in their universe. It could very well be the female Silver Surfer and then the Fantastic Four escape their doomed Earth and end up in the 616 universe, where the same thing is about to happen. Galactus is attacking Earth. So in the 616, well, I don't know if that really counts. The movie, the MCU, different versions of Silver Surfer could appear, which would explain both actors possibly being in the movie. That's my guess. So in the original Fantastic Four movie, it could be the female Silver Surfer played by Julia Garner, and then Lakeith Stanfield plays the 616 version. Or, more likely, vice versa, Stanfield only plays the Silver Surfer for a short time at the start of the movie, and then the FF reach the MCU, which is, the MCU, where the Silver Surfer's female. Yeah. That's more than likely what it would be. But, so he's only there for a couple of minutes, and you never see or hear from him again. And something of that nature could occur. So it's kind of like The Flash, where you had Ben Affleck as Batman for a few minutes, and then the rest of it is Michael Keaton as Batman. So that's the deal. But if there were going to be two, why not just announce it? But I guess it gives away plot and stuff, and then maybe they want this to be a surprise. But then why did he post, I thought it would be me? But maybe he knows, I get to be the 5-minute Silver Surfer, where she gets to be the 2-hour Silver Surfer, or, however many minutes she gets, which would be much more than his. Could be something along those lines. If they actually meet, then he's like, oh, wow, it's my girl Shala, and she's silver too. But then there's his real wife back home, so. But anyway, maybe that's the deal. You'll get two. But knowing Marvel, he'll be there for 5 minutes at best. And then Julia takes over for whatever's left of the MCU. Yeah. Meanwhile, Grant Gustin talked to James Gunn. That doesn't really mean anything. Says, we never talked about The Flash. We talked like, I'm a huge Superman fan. So it's interesting that they talked. Is there a role perhaps for him of some sort? I kind of wondered if he was in consideration for Hal Jordan. But I think they want an older Hal Jordan. And, I mean, he's not the young kid he used to be, but he still kind of looks young, I don't know if would they buy him being a mentor to a younger Jon Stewart? Of course, it depends on how young the Jon Stewart actor is, I guess. So he said, yeah, he would play the Flash again if James Gunn asked him to. So, and I don't know if they'll cast him as their Flash. Stranger things have happened. But as far as multiverse shenanigans and whatnot, I already covered that on the show, and he even met Ezra Miller on the show and all that. So that's done, Yeah. Meanwhile, it appears Blair Witch returning yet again. There's not much to say about it. Just Lionsgate and Blumhouse have announced a reboot of the 1999 horror sensation. So, people involved in the original film are upset because they weren't, talked to or anything about this. Since the original Blair Witch, there have been 2 sequels. There was The Book of Shadows, which wasn't that great. It was basically a typical horror movie, in that it wasn't a found footage story. But it is better than the third thing they did, which was terrible, just awful. A lot of high-tech stuff, of course, but just wasn't any good, really. Acting was terrible and all that. But Blair Witch is one of those, you either liked it or you hated it. That's just the way it is. But yeah, that's all this article is about, is the original sin. Hey, they won't contact us. And, well, I mean, there is something to be said, since the other attempts of following up on it and have failed. That, what ideas did they have? The thing about Blair Witch was the way it was marketed and stuff, and the marketing is really more a part about the story. So, as a film standing alone, it doesn't really fly with people. But if you were aware of the website and all that stuff, and the Sci-Fi Channel special they did, which actually, in conjunction with the film, works a lot better. As it probably should have done it more like a faux documentary, and that would have worked better, probably, for them. But anyway, then another Blair Witch on the way. So, I don't know. Finally, oh, look who's coming back. Yeah, Strange New Worlds gets a season 4. Why? I don't know. I guess a few more people watched it than others. Lower Decks will end with season 5. And so Jack Quaid talked about it. Gee, it's tough, but it's getting canceled, He had a better role in The Boys. Between the two, I mean, I only saw a couple episodes of Lower Decks and didn't care for it too much, but it's probably better than Strange World. It's probably the best thing Secret Hideout has done with trash. It's still stupid, don't get me wrong. And Strange New Worlds is just such a disappointment about what it could have been, but was never allowed to. In season 2, there was one fairly okay episode that was actually, they utilized Captain Pike. He actually got to be a captain instead of a chef. And it was almost a Star Trek episode. So, there's that. The Kirk and Lady Khan episode is a distant second, just for what it was. It's still kind of stupid. But it did acknowledge that, yeah, there's been some time travel shenanigans, and so this is an alternate timeline. This isn't the Star Trek you do. What was your first clue? But anyway, it's an acknowledgement of it or anything. But that's about it. But why a fourth? Again, I guess someone's watching. Maybe they're going to get a fifth one as well, because that's the rule of thumb. So they all get 5 seasons to say they got a 5-year mission, and then they get canceled. So Lower Decks, it started earlier, so it's already reached season 5, or will, or whatever, and that's it for them. And then Strange New Worlds hits season 5, and then they get canceled. Maybe that's the deal. And by the time you get there, it'll only be like 4 episodes, or maybe 5 episodes. Season 5, get it? Be appropriate. Maybe by then they'll actually visit a strange new world, because so far they've just been visiting old ones, very familiar ones, strange familiar worlds. Yeah, especially planets that you visited in old Star Trek and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Boy, does all this get you excited? Yeah. Oh well.